Breaking news out of South Florida, where a family spokesperson of slain American journalist Steven Sotloff is delivering a statement. Let's listen in.
He could not turn his back on the suffering pervading Sam Peckinpah's world. He yearned for a tranquil life where he could enjoy Miami Dolphins games on Sunday and a banal office job on Monday that would provide him a comfortable middle-class existence. But the Arab world pulled him. He was no war junkie. He did not want to be a modern-day Lawrence of Arabia. He merely wanted to give voice to those who had none. From the Libyan doctor in Misrata, who struggled to provide psychological services to children ravaged by war, to the Syrian plumber who risked his life by crossing regime lines to purchase medicines, their story was Steve's story. He ultimately sacrificed his life to bring their story to the world. Steve was no hero. Like all of us, he was a mere man who tried to find good concealed in a world of darkness. And if it did not exist, he tried to create it. He always taught to help those less privileged than him, offering career services and precious contacts to newcomers in the region. He indulged in South Park, but was just as serious about filing a 3 a.m. story. He had a fondness for junk food he could not overcome. And despite his busy schedule, he always found time to Skype his father to talk about his latest golf game. Steve often said his job was to hold people's hands, to build rapport before delving into the story. He never rushed or was pressured. He was appreciated by all who met him for sincerity and kindness. Steve had a gentle soul that this world will be without. But his spirit will endure in our hearts. Today we grieve. This week we mourn. But we will emerge from this ordeal. Our village is strong. We will not allow our enemies to hold us hostage with the sole weapons they possess: fear. Our prayers go out to the family of Jim Foley. Like Steve, he suffered, but his jailers never broke him. He was an inspiration for others in that dark prison far from this country's freedoms. And for me personally, I failed you, Boy Scout. I left you in the field to suffer your fate. I will carry this burden until I meet you, but I will never forget your kindness. Watch over me, Patroclus. We ask the media to respect our wish for privacy as we mourn Steve's passing. I have a few words in Arabic for the Arabic.
All right, you've been listening live to a spokesperson and a family of Steven Sotloff, the journalist who was beheaded. The video released just this week, and for the longest time on the internet, we've been seeing pictures of a man on his knees next to a terrorist, waiting for this terrorist to behead him. And now we know
that he was a student at the University of Central Florida. He was actually on the school paper about a decade ago. And, of course, his mother made a very heartfelt plea for his life that went unanswered by the terrorists.
And I think what they were trying to do is perhaps let us know that, more about him as a man and a person and all the things to remember.